county laws. It is statutory requirements that we have to fulfill based on what the legislature puts together. So we have specific guidelines that we have to follow in Florida statute. Specifically with the media, in order to provide access, there has to obviously be a need, whether it's a public safety concern or what have you. We have specifically within our organization a definition of what media is, and they have to be formal media to gain access into our facility based on our definition and our policy. For instance, with the St. Johns County Sheriff's Office, bloggers are not considered media. Journalism students are not considered media. We have a certain criteria, and that really is to keep everybody secure and safe from an inmate perspective and also from the perspective of the individuals gaining access. If we make an arrest on a say a high-profile case, the media usually will request within a, they give us a pretty generous amount of time in order to prepare, but they'll ask to go into the first appearance hearing, and during the week, the first appearance hearings are held in the facility over at the jail. They are not provided access into any specific inmate holding cells. It's just the general area of booking that they're allowed access into. And of course, there's a lot of security provisions that go into that. We do sweeps before and after, and we're not going to get into technically what we do because, again, that's part of the security of the facility itself. We have done on a national level, we've done several, with several syndications, we've allowed the media access into the facility so they can shoot some B-roll. But again, they're not in the facility where inmates are being held. What we do is we prepare and we move the inmates, and we don't let them film the inmates. They can't capture any of their daily activities on film, and they're in secured areas where they have absolutely no access to the inmates. And then we, as public information officers and community affairs, we actually stay with them and escort them through the entire process to be sure that they're not getting anything for our daily operations on film for security purposes. It's a double-edged sword for us in law enforcement because we have the statutory guidelines by law that we have to protect and secure a facility that has some of the most violent offenders in it, but we also have to protect their rights as citizens. So we get a lot of times we'll get a request from a reporter that wants to come in and do an interview with an inmate. We don't allow that. We can't allow that. That information has to go back through that individual's counsel or public defender. If we allowed the media access to them and allowed interviews, who's to say that they wouldn't implicate themselves in something? So again, it's all about the security of the facility, security of and protection of the inmates' rights, and then also allowing the media in, or just anybody in, opens that individual up to, something that potentially could happen, and it's a liability. It's happened in the past, but again, at that point, when we have those kind of requests, we always send them back to their counsel because it's their individual case that's going to go, through the judicial system, through prosecution. So their counsel has to be aware of it. And just recently, we did have a case. The individual is no longer an inmate with us. However, she does have charges pending. She's bailed out, and her and her attorney talked to the media about the case.